Are you tired of sucking at savage rates? Worry not, for I will help you solve the problem. Hi, this is Elvin and this is the top 5 most Braindead class to play for your next savage tier, so you don't suck as much. Well, I know you will, but at least not as much while playing these classes. Number 5. Warrior. Warrior is the strongest and easiest tank class in the game. It heals yourself using equilibrium and lifesteal from breathwetting, have the lowest info cooldown at 240 seconds, and most importantly, the rotation is just ooga booga. It is especially best in proc situation because as long as you press everything on cooldown and don't overcap your beast gauge, you will do good damage. This helps you to focus more on the mechanics instead of staring your hotbar like there are some naked chicks on it. It also has the most gap close charges at 4 if you count Prime Red. So you don't really need to worry to lose a bit of uptime as you can get it back as soon as possible. Also, with the 6.2 buff, Warrior deals a good amount of damage, especially when there's a lot of downtime and requires you to burst fast. It is certainly a bit weak on prolonged full uptime fight DPS wise, but that shouldn't really matter. Number 4. Sage. Compared to Scholar, Sage is the easier shield healer you can get into. The shield is straightforward and the resource management is easy. You basically have 3 balls that regenerates over time. You wanna always have 2 balls because 3 balls are not normal. So you can always spend it on your main shield Caracol or AoE heal for Ixocol and single heals like Gruocol or single mitigation Taurocol. If you lose too many balls, you can always use Rizomata to gain 1 back. Easy, right? It also has Cardia and it heals 1 player that you partner with every time you attack. How great is that? It's much better than a healer that does not want to shield because their balls you can be used for damage, right? Number 3. Reaper. As we all know, positional is one of the biggest bullshit mechanic in the game. And Reaper is one of the easiest melee class for one reason and one reason only. You can choose when you want to do the positional. On top of that, it only has 2 positionals on Gibbet and Gallow. The base mechanic for Reaper is to fill out the red gauge until you hit 50 to use 1 positional, and that 1 positional will fill your blue gauge. The blue gauge then can be spent for Enshroud, which changes your Gibbet and Gallow to red Gibbet and red Gallow for your big damage. And also you can use Communio, your hardest hitting skill while you're using Enshroud. The difficult part is just learning how to use 2 Communio inside Arcane Circle window, and that's not super difficult. Just use Enshroud -6 second or -9 second prior to your Arcane Circle going up and you're good to go. Number 2. White Mage. Who doesn't like seeing a dude twirling around every time he casts? White Mage is the easiest healer you can play right now. Not only that it has big burst heals from Lily, Spells, Plenary and Asylum, but also mitigation from Temperance and Divine Benison. And let's not forget that big juicy damage that is Afflatus Misery. Oof. The healing is straightforward, you basically do heals from these lilies that regenerates over time as long as you're in combat. And from using those lilies, you will get Red Lily, that is used for Afflatus Misery, your big damage. As long as you're not being dumb and spamming Medica 2 all the time, you're good to go. Also, the reason why this healer is on this list because I know you think you can play Astro but you can't, I promise you. Number 1. Summoner. What if I tell you that you can be a caster that does not cast? Introducing the greatest class of all time, Summoner. It's not enough that you don't really have a cast except for these 2 red balls, but who cares? Can just run around and hit boss, but you also have an extremely brain-dead rotation. You basically just use Bahamut or Phoenix every 60 seconds and juggle all primals, Garuda, Ifrit and Titan in between. Nothing is easier than a class that does not require you to think at all. Can resurrect party member and run around the map while adjusting. Which means you can fully focus on mechanic and still do decent damage to the boss. Just be careful not to have a brain rot while playing this class because it's so easy it might make you stupid. Try out some other classes in PF just to balance it out and keep your brain active. What do you think of the list? Do you find it helpful or do you think there's easier class for you to play on 6.4 Savage? Let me know in the comment below because I know you're wrong and I will pin you if you write stupid stuff. Okay, that's it, yeah. Also, did you notice that there's no physical range here even though it's the easiest role in the game? That's because any one of you who click on this video for sure has brain issue and playing physical range will worsen your condition and I don't want that. Okay, goodbye.